And this is my mom, and I'm going to be interviewing her today, so she's going to tell us a little bit about herself.
Hi, my name's Martha. I've been in public school education for 35 years, 13 in the classroom and 22 as a librarian. And I got my undergraduate degree from North Texas State University, now University of North Texas, and did my library work at the University of Houston Clear Lake.
Alrighty. So in the library, what are 3 of your key rules here for students that you go by?
Kindness. It's written all over the place in the library because I think that if you operate from kindness, all the other rules fall into line. If you let somebody go in front of you, then you're not going to be pushing to be first. If you share what you have, then you're not going to hurt feelings and have conflicts that way. So almost everything in the library boils down to kindness. Second one is probably sticking to our guidelines for computer use in the library. Some of our older kids have discovered ways around to get to websites that we don't want them on at school. And so we have very clear rules about how to access any of the websites that they're allowed to go to. And number 3 would be probably taking care of the books. Our school rules are take care of yourself, take care of each other, and take care of the school. And in taking care of the school and the books, then of course the books will last longer, the popular titles won't get syrup on them, all that good stuff.
How do you monitor student behavior in the library?
Mostly through proximity and environment. We all know that when in the classroom or the library, if you have your usual suspects, you usually try and stand, near them in their area, just so they're very cognizant of the fact that you're there and they might not get away with as much as they normally would. And environment, I have many things set up as visual cues to the kids as to what to do. For example, we had a problem where kids were bumping into each other at the checkout desk, and then that turned into pushing, shoving. And so just a simple doormat a few feet away from the table, and that's where the second person waits for their turn to check out.
So the way your library is set up, it's lower shelves, computers are always facing you, so you have full visual of the kids at all times.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Alright.
And
you're up constantly monitoring? And,
yeah.
Okay. And so procedures, like you were just mentioning, are there any that you have that are set in place, and do they work, and why do you think they work here?
They absolutely work. Yes, we have them. I like to have things structured. There are certain times when we're unstructured, but then when I give the signal that it's time to come back together as a group, then I expect that to be done every time, hopefully first time I ask. But everything from how we line up by going around a certain shelf to keep the kids in a line, in my sight line, from there to even how we hold our books for checkout, doing it to make it as efficient and fast as possible, so that the kids who are waiting in line don't have too much time to start behaving like kids.
So how do you maintain a positive environment in the library?
I joke a lot. I'm not necessarily the one who's going to say, oh my gosh, you forgot a shelf marker, you're a horrible person. I'm more likely to say, something funny to draw their attention to the fact that they don't have their shelf marker. And, just humorous cues, and that way I'm not getting on to anybody. There's no reason for them to feel picked on or attacked or anything like that. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot, and then they go and do the right thing usually.
And do you think building relationships with each student is very important to that? So there's the mutual respect thing?
It's critical. Without it, I don't know how you get anything done.
And so why is a positive environment, or kind of an escape? I would think of a library kind of as an escape sometimes for some kids. So why do you think that's so important for them to have, or for that to be a resource?
I have students on my campus, and this is more of an extreme example. Some of them are on the spectrum. Some of them just have behavior issues for whatever reason. A lot of times, those are the kids that'll come see me 2 or 3 times a day for 10 to 15 minutes to build with Legos, get on the computer, whatever they need to do. It's a reset time for them. It's not a reward for acting up. It's just a time for them to regroup and then go join their class again. I have kids who join me for lunch because the lunchroom is such an overwhelming, chaotic place, and because of their personalities or other issues, they can't function in that environment. So they come in here and eat, and what I always say to them is, this is your time to have some quiet time, some creating time, and build your reserve back up so that when you go back to your classroom, you're ready to take that on again.
Yeah. Alrighty. And so my final question is, in the library, what do you do when a child might act out? What steps do you follow?
It depends upon the age. I'm dealing with pre-K through 5th grade here. Most of the kids, all the older ones, usually a redirect, giving them a cue, and they pretty much straighten themselves out. Behavior issues with the older kids are just fairly non-existent in here. The little ones, we practice breathing techniques on my campus and some other strategies, and typically that's what we'll try and do is sit down and work with the child, and we need to get them to a place where they can tell us
what's up.
Because just having a temper tantrum
and you yelling at them doesn't
all I'm doing is I'm the clacker. I'm making it worse. So that's one of the things we try and do is get down to the root cause, and then let them know that if it's because they can't check out a library book, like some of my babies just are devastated when they forget their library book and they can't do another one. And so one of the things we get to is, you can handle disappointment. You're going to be okay, and then tomorrow's a new day.